and welcome to week 3. I hope you all had a great weekend and worked through all your assignments fine for week 2. I hope that you learned a lot and that you got some good information that will help you build on what we're going to be completing this week. So as we get into the content for week 3, I just want to I wanted to go over what was expected of you for this week. So you should be reading pages 140 through 194 in the Diggs Brown book, and then you should be focusing on pages 67 through 83 in the Bivens book. You have another reflection assignment, another writing assignment number 3, and then you also have skill exercise number 3. So you should be working on all 3 of those assignments, and then also keep in mind, I know we're only in week 3 and we still have 5 weeks left, but you should start glancing at what the expectations are for your capstone project due in week 8. I will be posting towards the end of this week some information and some guidelines that you need to know for that project to help you with that. I know it's still quite a bit of ways, but I wanted to just start discussing that at this point because the capstone project that's due the last week isn't something you want to wait to get started on. So I just want to kind of bring that to your attention and to kind of let you know what you need to know about from there. So your reflection assignment, your discussion board is pretty simple. I do encourage you to get on to the discussion board as early as possible in the week as you can, so that way people aren't waiting until late into the evening hours on Sunday night to answer their reply posts. It's not a formal requirement. I'm not closing the discussion board or initial posts giving you certain deadlines for that, but it would be best if you could at least spend some time getting involved in that early in the week, so then it gives everybody a chance to answer your initial postings. For this assignment, you're going to be working on what are the key points in the Bivens text from working with the media, and really kind of just explaining why you chose those points and what they were important towards PR. I'm not looking for a lot. It's more just, like I said, it's in the nature of the title, it's a reflection. I just want to know what you think about it and how you are how you're going to work with the media in mind as you get into PR, because it's a very critical component. Writing assignment number 3 asks you to look at 6 theories in the public relations text, which is the Diggs Brown book, which is covered in chapter 9. And so once you look through those 6 theories, you have to pick 2 of them and answer some questions. There's 5 questions you have to answer about those theories. I wanted to tell you exactly what those theories are because I noticed as I was reading through the text a couple weeks ago and then rereading it today that it may not be as explicit as you think. So the 6 theories that there's 6 theories that you're going to read about in chapter 9. Of those 6 theories, you're going to pick 2 to answer in your assignment. The 6 theories are communication process theory. This talks about how communication allows us to share ideas and experience with other individuals and groups, institutions, and through it we inform, teach, entertain, and persuade. The next one is mediated mass communication. Mass communication theories explaining the process of communication have evolved during the decades from the idea that audiences can be injected with information from the media to think a particular way, which is actually really interesting when you think about it. Think about how the media influences us and shapes public perceptions in various ways. The next one is information campaign theory, where early scholars in PR sought to determine what elements or variables affected the success or failure of PR information campaigns, and it talks a lot about how an information campaign can be developed and the theory behind it and what tactics you're going to want to use within that. The next theory is the theory on effective practice of public relations, and this talks about 4 models of how public relations is practiced and how you use those models to understand public relations activities, campaigns, and various things you will do within the practice. The next one is persuasion strategy, and then last but not least is public opinion and mass communication theory. So what I want you to do is read through all 6 of those and kind of take notes as you get into chapter 9, and then pick 2 to discuss in detail, like I said. So that's writing assignment number 3. The next assignment is skill exercise number 3. And to kind of, I know we're in week 3 and I'm just starting to explain it, but the way the course is structured is your reflection assignment for your discussion board is reflective, kind of going off of the material you read, and that's something I want you to reflect and think about and interact with others, so that's the discussion board. The writing assignment is also a reflection, but it's more of a formative assessment. I'm looking at some key things I really want you to dig in personally and think about, internalize, analyze, and synthesize in your writing assignment, which that's why it's not a discussion board. And then the skill exercises are putting the practice to work. What did we read? What did we cover this week that I want you to actually practice in doing something that may be tactical in what you'll be doing and tangible in an actual campaign in the PR industry. So last week, the Domino's prank and the research planning guide, that's actually a template that you may use someday in the workforce. The same thing with skill exercise number 3. Skill exercise number 3 is asking you to lay out an online newsroom. So all I'm asking you to do is just in a simple Word doc or in Blackboard, if you like to type your assignments into Blackboard, create a template for what we would use as an online newsroom. So answer all 3 of those questions in this, go through everything in here and talk about the website components and things like that. What I mean by online newsroom is just a fancy, sophisticated term for the media page on a website. So it says for media professionals or media here or media click here or things like that, and you go to that page, what do you see on a company? It usually says press releases over here to the side, and then it'll say media contacts, information for the press, information for journalists, information for bloggers, so on and so forth, and all pertinent information that the media needs to know about and how to interact with the company from a media standpoint. And so it's called an online newsroom. So you go into there and you see everything the company wants the news and media organizations to see about the company. It tells you their policy for quoting them and using them in a story and what have you from there. So I listed a couple that are really interesting for you to look at that have some really good, well-developed media pages. Then what I want you to do is to find a company of your own, it has to either be a real company, a company you work for, or a company you eventually want to start someday. It can also be a church or something like that, and create an online newsroom / media page. Now, I'm not saying to get to the HTML side and actually do web programming. I'm talking about just in a Word doc, talk about and type up what you would like to see. I would like to see a tab that has this. I would like to have this here. I'd like to have that there. There is an online newsroom in the review pages of Vivids on page 299 and 300 that have some specific examples. But think of this as kind of a proposal for an online newsroom that you want to set up for a company of your choice, which is very simple. It's a really fun assignment. If you want to actually lay something out, in designing it, making it all fancy, you can. I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking for a Word doc of my online newsroom will include the following. And it does have to be pretty thorough. If you look at the Bivens text on pages 299 and 299 to 300, and then also that's where the backgrounders are, and then also look at pages 300 to 301, which talks about the do's and don'ts of your online newsroom in Bivens. It will tell you what to include and not to include. If you have any questions at all as to what you want to include in there, or you're not quite sure, let me know, but I'm being really flexible with this assignment. Pick any company you'd want to work for, or a company you work for, or create your own company, and tell me what you would have on your media page to release to the media. Think of this from a public relations perspective. What communication do you want to send to your external audiences, those on the outside, one being the media, for them to know about your company? That's what you're going to put on there. That's where you're going to put your press releases, anything you announce to the media and things like that. So think about how you would want to have this structured and what you're looking for in that. That's all I'm asking you to do. And so that's really it for this week. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll respond back as quickly as I can, or if you're not quite sure about how you want to handle something or where to go with something, email me. If you need any prayer, let me know. My door's always open. I will be on main campus, meaning the traditional main campus of CBU, on Wednesday from about 10 to 4. So if you need to meet with me, my office is in James 362, where we can set up an appointment at that point, or we can create a WebEx appointment. If you have any questions or emails, email me. That's usually the fastest and the quickest way to get a hold of me. Other than that, that's it. So I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'm enjoying reading all your assignments. Grades should be updated probably by Thursday at the latest. Other than that, have a great week. Bye-bye.